Hello, beer tubers, and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the Master of Hoppers. Today, checking out another beer that I got from Beer Dome, my sponsor down in the Netherlands that has a fantastic selection of craft beer. This one was kind of an extra, if you'll say. They sent me last time. They sent me a box because I did the review with Brett of the Hydra from Mortalis. That was kind of like, yeah, it was nice, but it was like, is this even beer? And it was a little fun description. But Ronald messaged me saying, we were out of the beer, but is it okay that I send you a different beer instead? But he was on vacation. So someone who packed the box already packed the Mortalis beer. And then, I don't know, there was a mix-up. And then they ended up thinking that it wasn't in the box. So they ended up also packing this as a substitute in the box, which was quite funny. But hey, we'll get to try this as well. So this is from Evil Twin New York City. And yeah, this is part of their sour IPA series where they do sour IPAs. They treat with all kind of things. And this is I've Been Missing My Mom's Spiced Blackberry Cobbler. This is a sour IPA on 6.8% with blackberry, cinnamon, and vanilla beans. We'll see how this is. It poured out not crazy thick. Like, it's not going to be pulpy, I think, as some of these smoothie sours, but it does not look like what you'd associate with an IPA. It looks like some kind of fruit beer. It is like very beautifully burgundy red. What a beautiful color. And the head there when I poured it was just like big, fluffy, and and pink. It looks very nice. It almost looks like a blackcurrant beer or something. So they probably use a lot of blackberries in this. Usually not my preferred style, but let's give this a go with an open mind and check out the aroma. Yeah, it's all like blackberry galore, blackberry jam, like almost like blackberry gummy candy. There's like all kinds of different shades of blackberry in here. Like almost like a blackberry, like, you know, the fruited vitamin pills you'd get as a kid. In Denmark, ours were like forest berries, and I think it's Flintstone vitamin pills in the States or something like that. But it's like, it smells like forest berry vitamin pills, like crazy. I'm not really smelling cinnamon. I'm not smelling hops at all, and it doesn't smell that sour. I mean, it smells good. It smells just like a lot of fruit. That's right. Cheers. Thanks to Beer Dome for the beer. Okay. Okay. It's sour. Thanks. A lot of times these beers are so sweet. So sweet. This is also sweet, but it also has some sourness to counteract it. I definitely think it's better than like the pear one. But it's interesting, that vitamin pill. It's almost like cough syrup or something as well. It reminds me of. There's like this really almost medicinal blackberry flavor. And I think it might just be because the saturation of it it's just so high. It could just be like kind of a weird profile of the berry when there's a lot of it. It doesn't taste, like an IPA at all, really. There's a big pop of bready sweetness up front as well. It is quite sugary. Like, my palate is accustomed to the sourness like this. So like it is fairly sugary. I think I'd struggle drinking a full can on my own. It's probably more something I'd share, but now I'm drinking it on my own. There you go. But yeah, I can see a blackberry cobbler inspiration, that's for sure. Because there is a whiff of cinnamon and vanilla in it too. It's nothing crazy, but it's definitely there. Yeah, these kind of beers are like the perfect gateway beers into exploring the beer world and craft beer. Really, because they're really sweet and really fruity, and they don't taste like beer, and they're not bitter. Like all the things that you think of when an IPA has been taken out of the equation here, and it's a totally different monster. I don't know why they call it sour IPA. Maybe it's just, I don't know. They make an IPA as a base. Like, could just be it that's sour. Like, to me, it tastes like somewhat like a pastry sour, and it's not my favorite type of beer at all, but it's definitely much better made than some of the other ones I had. The worst one I've had was from Other Half, and I think it's actually Wiltworks. I love Willworks. Their stouts are amazing, but that was just like so weird and all over the place. This is a bit more cohesive, but it's not something I'm like, whoa, this is awesome. Like this is fun, and then I'm probably not gonna finish it. Like this is something where I sit and share it with a few friends. But I totally see like a lot of people love this. Like it's sweet, fruity, jammy, blackberry flavor, like almost like the filling of a pie, with that touch of cinnamon and vanilla, like balancing like the berries and the vanilla and cinnamon in the recipe for this must also be like a bit of a challenge because you want it to taste somewhat like filling, but filling of a pie or a crumble isn't like overly cinnamon and vanilla, so you have to be a bit scarce with it. But like for me, this kind of beer is just a bit too sweet. I'm so sick of sweet beer, except when it's stouts. Like everything has to be sweet nowadays. It's funny. I've heard so many jokes about this in the States, on pastry beers and all this, but I feel like it's not until a few years ago that it really started to catch on in the EU, and it's just going on nuts more and more, and it's like sweeter, 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 sweeter. Like I feel a sugar rush drinking this. Like it's like I almost get a sugar high. And sometimes for me, these kind of weird off the kettle sour or sour IPAs, they actually really work. I like the root beer one they did. I loved because I love root beers, and sometimes these kind of silly ones also work. Like just think of the pickle sour that I really like. Like that's also like stupid silly beer, and stupid silly beer is fun. Like, but the big thing for me is like I'm getting sick of sweet beer, like really sweet beer, unless it's like a stout that has some robustness and roast profile and whatnot to hold it up. Like this has no bitterness to counteract the sweetness. The sourness counteracts it a bit, but like I would just need like just something more to counteract the sweetness, because I think this would get cloying to drink. It is really thick though. I'm sure that's because of the puree in here or whatever they use. But if I pour it in here, yeah, there we go. I'm so glad I didn't get that in from the beginning. Now it's super fruited. And now it's even more cloying and thick. That made it worse. It's so like it's so thick. It's so thick and sweet. It's like drinking syrup. Fruit purees. Oh, man, I hate I did that. It was so much better without it. Slimy and thick, like. Yeah, and this probably graded really high. I don't know. I'd rather drink the kettle beers. It's not a terrible beer. I understand why a lot of people will like this, but it's like, I think the big thing is just like these thick, sweet, fruity beers. That's just not too much for me. If you look at it as a fruit beer, I guess a lot of people like it, but for any beer style to be on the thick and sweet side, it should be a stout for me in terms of flavor profile, because you have some umami and roast that can counteract some of it. Like here, the only thing to do that is really sourness, and you also don't want too much of that, but it's just like it is really, really sweet. Yeah. Fun gimmick beer. 85. That's all right. I wouldn't pick it up again, but I know a lot of you guys will, or would. And I know a lot of people who follow the channel love these kind of beers, and that's awesome. You love it. Actually, it looks like the filling on the picture. That's awesome. But I know a lot of people love this, and I know a lot of you guys will love it. This is if you like these kind of Mortalis style beers and whatnot. But yeah, it's just not for me. Like, I can appreciate it somewhat, but like, yeah, that's not something I'm gonna be checking out very often. I'd have something else any day of the week. But yeah, 85. I think it's decent. It's a good beer. Basically, it is a good beer. It's just not personally for me, and I don't think it tastes disgusting or anything. It's easy to enjoy. It's just like it's in the long run too sweet, and I would have trouble finishing the whole can. So that's how it is. Fun to try nonetheless. I'm not sure if they still have this on Beer Dome, but if you want to check it out, have a look on Beer Dome. they often have Evil Twin beers on there from Evil Twin Brewing, New York City. And if you guys had a chance to try this one already, let me know what you thought of it. As always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and ring the bell for future notifications about videos. And I'm going to say cheers in crazy beer, and see you guys in another beer video.